How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So, let's expect an unusual end.
Hey everyone! Welcome to a new Let's Play with me, your host Tim. And today, we're going to be trying out Biomutant together. What the narrator just said, by the way, is going to hold pretty accurate for this playlist in particular. But before we even talk about why that is, you should know that in the comment section down below, there will be a pinned comment from me with the timestamp in it, allowing you to jump ahead to where we don't do this bit of prep. We're going to talk about Biomutant for like maybe 4 or 5 minutes, how far I got in it, what type of game it is, and why we're playing it. If you don't want to listen to me prattle on about that stuff, click that link and you'll be brought to where we start the game, and whatever that entails.
Welcome to Biomutant.
So this game was a game that was not on my radar. It's a game that I have not followed. I did not get any advertisements for the game. It was not recommended to me in my Steam Discovery queue either. I know nothing about this game, and the reason why we're playing it is because this was gifted to me by one of my brothers, who thought I would like it, and it would make a good game to play on my channel. It is jumping ahead of several of the other games that were slotted to be played in my gaming upload schedule, because, well, I figured why not, we'll try it. I just got finished with Loop Hero, so let's play something that's probably a little different than that. Now that said, I know nothing about this game at all. I have not played it. I do not even know what type of game it is. I suspect it is like a Zelda game? Maybe like that like open world Zelda game that came out for the Switch? Is that what it is? Is that the most recent Nintendo system? I don't even know anymore. But it seems to want a controller when I was looking down at the settings and controller options. And so I have a controller plugged in from my Logitech. It doesn't look like there's too many... Actually, it looks like there's lots of command inputs and for like battle combos and stuff. So I suspect it is a action game of some sort. And I suspect we'll be playing that little raccoon creature we saw in the beginning, and we'll be exploring various dungeons to get the pieces of the to get whatever it takes that we need to get to save the tree we saw in the beginning. Again, I know nothing about the game, so if I'm completely wrong and this is some sort of like turn-based strategy game or real-time strategy, I'll be surprised. I think this did come out on consoles, and I don't think those types of games translate well to console games. In any case, I'm babbling a bit, so I know nothing about it. You should expect me to try to walk everywhere if I can, assuming it makes sense for me to do so, similar to what I do in The Witcher 3 when I was playing that game. I like walking around villages and towns. If I'm entering a dungeon, I'll be cautious as I look around in that dungeon. If the game gives me ways to travel, like, say, a boat or a car or, like, a glider or who knows what else this game might have in it, I will be using them to travel around because it would make sense for me to do that. If the game has lots of lore, you should expect me to read all the lore in the game as we encounter it. As for the game itself, I don't know if it's voiced or not, so I will read if the game's not voiced, otherwise we'll let the game play. I won't talk over any cutscenes. I will probably be giving my thoughts on things that are occurring as they're occurring, so this won't be a game that I am silent for. On that note, by the way, I have not played this game, obviously, I've said this several times, so you should expect me to probably die pretty often until I get used to the controls. I haven't played a fast-paced game on a controller in a long time, and the games which I did that with were over on my Nintendo Wii, which uses a completely different stick setup than the Logitech controller for this type of thing. So I apologize if it's a lot of death, but it's going to be a little bit like Dark Souls, I suspect, in that regard. Anything else I should say before we hit new game? I'm going to go check out my voice really quick as well, so there'll be a small little cut here. I guess there is always this, which I feel like I should say. This is going to be a blind Let's Play. So we're going to need to do the tutorial. That's probably going to be the entirety of this video at least. I also am nervous because whenever I get a game that I've not looked into, there's always the risk that I won't like it. This was the case for Alice Madness Returns, where I hated the game halfway through it, unfortunately. I probably wouldn't these days if I was to fire it up again. But in any case, if I don't like this game, we will still give it our all for like maybe 10 hours. So expect like 7 videos or so, maybe 12 videos before I discover if it's a game I'm willing to play or not, any further than that. And if I end up not liking it, I will still, we'll get that far at least before we toss in the towel. But if I don't like it, I hope that my brother Dave, who got me this game, Dave, I hope you're not too upset. It's always a risk buying me a video game because I've got a huge backlog of games that I had my eye on and I've purchased. So this is a bit new and it's going to be blind. All right, so with all that said, I think that covers everything. I'm going to go check out my voice, and assuming things are good, we'll be back to play a new game. Give me a few seconds. All right, everyone. It sounds like my voice is coming out okay, so let's go ahead and start a new game. Alright, and the very first thing we'll need to do is apparently choose a difficulty setting. So I have no clue what these difficulty settings do, because it doesn't tell me what they do. So I'm going to select medium then. I'm a big fan of playing the games the way they were meant to be played. If I see that text, that's what I choose. We have no text here, but I'm going to assume medium means standard or average, and I like that in the games that I am playing if I have never played them before. So, medium it is for us.
Encode your DNA.
What? Okay. We have to choose a breed. Is this like what type of class we're going? No. This is different. Maybe, oh, that's not. Maybe. Alright, we get to choose a breed. And apparently this will alter our stats a little bit somehow. And make us look quite different than what I saw in the intro video. Interesting. I didn't expect this. And the breed we choose looks like it alters some of our starting stats a bit as well. Alright, let me look at all these creatures for a little bit, everyone. Darn it, I didn't want to go off screen. Alright, let's not go off screen. So let's talk you through what's going through my head. So I don't really want to pause and look at stat details. So I will assume that the stats numbers we see on the right, I don't see them being altered at all either. Everything says 28 in it. But yet I see the bars moving, so I really don't understand this at all. I would expect the numbers to go up and down. Maybe the bars represent the amount of magnitude that the numbers are applying to the breed. Okay, and the bars also, they're red and green is dependent upon the last breed we had looked at, not as opposed to an average. Alright, that's a little annoying, because I find it hard to know what to choose. Alright, so then let's forget all about the stats, and I'm just going to look at what they look like. So we've got the guy, can I rotate? Okay, so we can rotate the camera as well. So this looks kind of like the one we saw right at the beginning of the video, in the intro. This guy looks sadder. Smaller. More warlike, this one. I like this one the best so far. He's got small eyes. That's the first guy. This guy's big eyes. Okay. So, we're gonna pick the Hyla. I like the look of this guy, and it occurs to me that this game might be similar to another game I've played, a board game called Root. It's a asymmetric war game. You pick a faction, and you lead your faction to victory. First person to 30 points wins. I really like the game. It's a good game. We're not going to talk about it for too much longer. But one of the factions that you play in the game isn't an army. It's a single person. Or a single... person's the wrong term. It's a single creature. A raccoon, an owl, a badger, a squirrel, some sort of anthropomorphic creature. It's called the Vagabond. And he can use a sword, crossbows. He goes adventuring in different ruins to find treasure to make himself stronger. And in the end, he allies with a certain faction. Or can do it. He can do it all on his own and not care about the factions. But he can also ally with a faction to help lead them in battle, gaining glory for himself. And if push comes to shove, he can also ally with the loser of the game, whoever's behind everyone else, to help them win. This guy looks a bit like the Vagabond, especially because he's got what looks like a raccoon tail. So we're going to pick this guy as our breed. Hala is a regenerative, developed anthropomorphic breed. A hybrid with a gene mutation making them extremely tough and resilient. I don't see where that's listed. It looks like we have a little health and armor. A little more health and armor. That's our specialty. I'm gonna get beat up a lot. So let's pick this. Define your character's starting attributes. To see more detailed explanations of what effect the attribute has, press that button. No, I don't want to spend time...
Define your genetic structure.
I don't want to spend time reading stats on screen. I don't want to stop the video. So I'll make a bunch of assumptions. Vitality, health reaches 0, we're dead. Armor, the amount of damage we shrug off whenever we're being hit to help us take less health damage. Melee damage is obviously how much damage you do in melee. Intellect, power, Kai energy, and energy regen. So there must be magic in the game, and that helps you do it. Agility, move speed. Okay, how fast we are. Charisma, apparently is used for selling things and maybe getting cheaper prices. And luck, the chance we have good loot or loot at all, and the chance we critical an enemy. Okay, that's what I'm going to assume they all do. So, I guess we'll go for strength or agility or charisma and intellect. Maybe. So well, actually, let's look at the slider. So I think. What? Whoa! I'm sorry. I was looking over there at the stats, and it changes our face. Oh, that's interesting. I also think we're going to use the mouse for this. Oh. We can be the world's saddest vagabond. Oh, he looks so sad. All right, we're not going to. Okay. So... I kind of like the snarl look he's got. Yeah, I like that sneer. I would like to keep that. So let's go more all in with the I don't care about my stats. Let's just make ourselves look cool. So I'm thinking we want something like this, which doesn't really affect our stats in any way. Like nothing's being adjusted. At this moment, we look a little slightly different. What if I move myself down here? Strength and vitality is not what I want. I don't like the look of our face when we do that. Okay, we could go for a nicer looking... I'm gonna close to Vagabond also. We could go for a nicer looking Vagabond. I want that sneer. So it looks like I can't move too far from the center or we lose it. Maybe we just leave it alone. Oh, I like his big ears, too. Alright, let's go with this. It doesn't look like it affects our stats at all. Which is weird, because we totally moved the... We totally moved it? But we'll go for this. Yep, that's good.
Choose a genetic resilience.
Okay, I'm guessing this works similarly to what we just did, and that this is our standard resistances to these types of damage. So, alright. It looks like we're willing to put our hand into, Guk. So, let's go for some heat and biohazard resistance. Let's go for 10% of each if we can. Oh my god! Okay, there we go. So we'll be weak to radioactivity and cold, but more resistant to heat and biohazard.
Choose your first style.
There's a lot going on with this game's character creation. What does this do? Ooh, I like that look right there. Done. We're choosing this. I like that dark look. That plays really nice. I like the glowing orange eye, and that sneer looks good too. We're picking this.
Pick your main color.
Okay, what does this do? Oh, okay, we can go from red to a different color. I kind of liked the red, so we'll stick it. We'll keep it there. What does the brightness do? Oh, okay. I kind of liked it being darkish, so we'll stick with this.
Choose your detail color.
This must be the other color, our white fur, and I think I like that. I don't think I even want that altered at all. Oh, we look like a fox now, kind of, with our tail. Maybe I want it less bright, though? Okay, let's go with this.
Pick a class.
I thought we picked the class early. Alright, so we have the breed, which affects our basic stats. And then this, what does this do? Class. Deadeye.
Commando.
Oh, wow! Okay, so there's all sorts of different equipment in the game, I suppose. I kind of... So, I mean, I liked the look of this guy. He strikes me as being most like the Vagabond from Root. So we're probably going to pick Deadeye. A perfect reload. Your ranged weapons are reloaded instantly, and your next magazine is granted 20% damage.
Commando.
Ranged weapons... attacks inflict 10%. Okay, so they all get a different perk.
Psy-Freak.
Oh, all right. There are magic users in the game. I'm going to imagine everyone's probably playing a Psy-Freak when it comes to their YouTube videos. He looks pretty cool. I do like him, but no, we're not playing that type of character.
Saboteur.
This guy looks pretty good. But I think we're still going with Deadeye. I like his jacket a lot. I like this.
Sentinel.
I don't even understand what type of weapon that is. It looks like a weighted club to me. Your base armor is increased by 10. That sounds like that would play nicely with the type of character we are, but no!
Deadeye.
We're gonna stick with the Deadeye. I had no idea there were even classes in this game that could change us dramatically. We're sticking with this. Alright.
Deadeye chosen.
Okay, we're set, I think. Let's go ahead and start.
Sounds good.
Alright, now I'm not going to insult your intelligence by reading the tutorial pop-ups here.
Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun.
I immediately dislike the controls. Give me a second or two. Okay, this is controller input. Let's invert. I'm just going to invert these. I'm going to want them inverted. I'm pretty sure. Yup, that's correct. If I move the cursor left, I expect the camera to rotate right, and if I move it down, it should pivot up. Yes, alright, that is exactly what I want. Very pretty game. I really like the foliage.
We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
I'm dark red, as in strength and power.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you. Your inner voice, to be precise. An echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
I want to be strong and powerful, but not necessarily evil. I'm not sure dark is for me.
So glad you realize who you really are. Let's keep to the bright and better path moving on.
I wish I chose dark.
You can't contradict yourself like that. You made the right choice to begin with. Why would you change your mind?
Because you can't deny what's deep within your heart. Sometimes a thought is just a thought. In the end, it's the way you act that counts.
But remember, this is just the beginning of the end. Eventually, it'll be my way or the highway.
Aura somewhat dark. Okay, so I guess both those choices determined karma, I'm going to assume. Well, I'm still gonna... Let's go down the dark path. This way. Mostly because I don't like the sound of the white path.
Guess
Angel.
left can be right sometimes.
And right can be right sometimes, too. Actually, right is always right. So where were we? Where did we come? Oh, poor Fluttershy.
Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others.
I suppose I should mention that I will be doing lots of talking as we're playing. I will keep it thematic and not joke around, depending upon the situation. But I'll also be joking around sometimes to make it funny and to also to keep myself talking as we play. I wonder where we came from and where we are actually going at the moment. We have equipment and so on. We obviously know how to fight. And this thing's called a note.
Do you remember the beast that shattered your family? Or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger.
So we fled something for some reason, or we went adventuring to forget some horror. Oh my goodness! We got hit immediately. Okay, I don't like that the game doesn't auto-target this creature, or I can't select it as an auto-target. Oh, I can! I just have to keep the cursor on him till it goes red. Okay, so we can jump and shoot as well. I don't like that I have to manually keep the reticule over him, though. I really wish. Can I middle click and like? Oh, okay. Crap. We can use our sword. All right, that's good. I can parry. This is a dodge swing. Oh, hey! Oh, yeah, this is the guy from the introduction. Okay, so we're redoing the introduction.
Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story.
Oh, I like this. That's a nice touch. We're gonna be surrounded by spiders. We gotta probably run for wherever down a tunnel or something like that. I'm imagining because we saw that this
time it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes.
I saw an experience bar briefly, so we can level up. I'm assuming then we'll get stats or perks, or maybe both, in order to improve our character. And where on earth are we? And we have some icons on the right-hand side of the screen. When in the gear menu, you can navigate to your preferred melee weapon and assign it to a quick select menu by favorite to 8 melee weapon favorites. Oh, okay. I gotcha. So, there must be an inventory. Oh, what the heck is this? I brought up the map by accident. That must be... Okay. So that's the tree we're trying to save? That's dying? Alright, we'll get a look at that a little later. Oh, okay. Let's keep playing and stick with the tutorial, Tim. You also didn't do too bad against the first fight. That's pretty good. Of course, it is the tutorial boss, so I wouldn't expect it to... Oh, to do that much damage. Speaking of damage, are we hurt? We got hit at least once in that fight. But I don't see a health bar. Also, this looks pretty cool. I like the spider eggs everywhere. I guess we're gonna get more practice fighting. We've probably fought...
The Predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die.
Oh, those aren't spiders at all. Move towards the enemy to target them with melee attacks. Aim the camera towards the enemy to target them with ranged attacks. Reload your ranged weapon, press RB. When the ammo indicator is red, you can perform a quick reload. A successful quick reload will shorten the reload time and increase the damage of the next bullet. Quick load by pressing RB. Kai energy is used for dodging, using mutations and performing special attacks. When you're out of Kai energy, you'll be unable to perform these actions. Your Kai energy regenerates both in and out of combat. Oh, there's a lot of these. We get a little icon that shows up before they actually attack. Ooh! Took a hit. I hit the wrong button to try to dodge. Okay. Oh, there's a symbol over that. Oh, okay, so does this work like, oh, what's it called? Hand of Fate? Where the creatures get back up again if we don't actually, kill them? Oh, wow. Okay, reloading takes a while, actually, if I don't manage to get the fast reload. Finish it! Oh! Okay, there's nothing actually there for me to finish. Can I cut it in half or something? No. Okay, maybe there's something we get in the future that allows us to interact with the bodies once they're down. Alright, that wasn't so bad. We took another hit, though, and I don't see my hit point bar. Alright, well, let's look around here really quick and see what else could be in here. So what were those? They look like rats. Like actual rats that would run around on all fours, and that's what they were actually doing, rather than something like us. I would expect... For some reason, I'm expecting all the creatures in the world to be like us. Anthropomorphic, wearing clothes, using guns or weaponry. I guess it's more like Narnia, in that only some creatures are like us, intelligent, can speak, and so on and so forth. Oh, wow. Were there humans here at one point? Is this Earth far in the future? Or some different planet? I guess we'll find out as we keep exploring. Sorry, everyone, I'm just... I'll be doing a lot of this talking as I try to think out loud about what might be going on. And where are we? What is this facility? There's stairs here. Obviously we entered a doorway. So this building served some purpose in the past. I guess we're going to find out what that is. Oh! Okay. They were probably moving supplies through here. That looks like a giant fuel tank. We are definitely really small. I guess the giant creature we were fighting was probably more like man-sized. Thankfully, there's enough power in this facility to, I guess... Well, actually, these doors aren't powered. Or maybe they are, slightly. So there's probably... Well, either we're strong, the door was very easily opened, or there's still enough power in here to assist us in opening that door. Examine the ammo box. I had the gamma turned down rather low, everyone, just as a heads up, because the game recommended that we do this. You found a weapon special effect add-on. Attach it to your ranged weapon to give it an extra damage type for as long as the ammo lasts. Some enemies have a resistance or weakness to different weapon special effects, so use them wisely. This is electric damage. Decent level 4. Electric shocking 5. Rare. I'm assuming... I'm going to just take it. To attach the special effect add-on, select it through the consumable quick menu. To open the menu, hold up. Oh, okay. So now we've armed our pistol with those bullets. Once we run out of these bullets, the add-on is gone. I don't know if I really wanted to equip it, but I guess it's only the tutorial, Tim. I guess we're fighting robots up ahead. Or I'm imagining that shock bullets are good against robotic enemies. playing this game is you want to play another game that I've never played before either, called Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden, I think is what it is. Maybe we'll play that as well. We'll have a thematic 2 series going up on the channel, both involving mutants. We're probably going up the chain of command. You find a medic supply bag. Bags like this contain items that can help heal you. Your health doesn't automatically regenerate in combat. You have to use consumables or find other ways to heal. Oh, okay. So we do have regenerative... Our life does regenerate outside of combat. Health regen, 50. Duration, 5 seconds. So I'm assuming that says that we will heal 50 life over 5 seconds. You can use a bandage by holding the quick select menu and selecting it. Oh, health is full, so we don't even need to use it. I guess we're in someone's home. This is kind of a... This must... Bunk beds? Or maybe a barracks? No. There's a single desk. And bunk beds. That's weird to have a bunk bed near what looks like some sort of... Well, the symbols on the ground make me think that they moved things through here. Like cargo or something. A health patch. Duration 5. Health regen 50. Alright. I suppose up we go. Oh, wow. We just immediately attached to this. No place looks safe to dismount there. Oh, hello, little guy. You're really obsessed with that rock. I hear something. I see a skull and crossbones up ahead. That fluid must be toxic. I'll assume that it kills me if I walk into it.
The oil sludge is everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways.
Help! Remember to parry attacks! Yes! I'm panicking, is what's going on here. One of these guys has a gun. Ooh! Alright, let's,
Wow, that's good stuff.
Nice try, little guy. Ooh! Into the sludge! Oh! A fallen enemy's kit often be looted for healing items. Find a highlighted fallen enemy, and then press Y. Remember to use your healing items when you're wounded. To open the selection, do whatchamacallit. But we're out of combat.
Just what you were looking for.
+1 Polym and +1 Clink. Can I walk on this? Oh, wow. 225 health regen over 2 seconds. And we are regenerating normally, but it took a little bit after the combat to do so. An energy pack. Okay, I wasn't even paying attention to my energy. More health regen. Oh my goodness, they're giving us so much of it. I guess they are expecting us to take lots of hits in combat, and I suppose that is going to be accurate for quite some time. Okay, so this must be oil. Or, yeah, or something very similar to it. And they produced it or stored it in these tanks. Oh, the creature had a name with the giant one when it showed up, but I don't remember what it was. We have another battle up ahead of us, probably on the other side of this door. That looks really bad. Alright, they're waiting for me. I guess let's not keep them waiting. Ooh, good for him. Nice counter kick. I like the guy's suit. The vest he's wearing. It looks pretty cool. Ooh, kicked right in the solar plexus. Oh, grabbed as well. Alright, hold on. We kind of need to heal. Right, that guy's down. I can't search his body. Nice, good hit there, Tim. That guy was a little too tough to hit in combat. He kept countering me and then he would grab me, so we'll stick with gunfire, I guess, for this type. Small energy pack. 10 energy, regen over 20. Oh, does it actually heal me for that amount every second for that second? We also gain tongue tickly. We did it to fight another one, right? There was a few enemies we fought. I'm assuming that the sludge is death if we're in it. Okay. We saw our character touch something early on. Is our hand affected by that? Like the cutscene? It is. Our right hand looks a little odd. No fur on it. Looks like a like a lizard hand or something now. Always check above you in the forgotten places in the world. You never know if there might be something waiting to drop down on your face. There's nothing in this place. This looks like a giant arena for us to fight in, but I don't see any enemies here. This has the feel of one of the, like, factories from Beyond Good and Evil to me. Been an age since I've played that game. They must have done some refinery inside this facility to have so much of the substance here. Some enemies carry large shields. You need to break the shield with melee attacks before you can deal damage to the enemy. Ooh, good hit, sir. Another good hit. I don't think I've done a single... Oh, are you running away? I can't see a thing! And now you're dead! Oh, poor guy. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. And we get more tongue tickly. I have no idea how good this stuff is. Let's make the assumption that it's good. By defeating enemies and completing quests, you will earn XP. Leveling up allows you to raise one of your attributes by 10. You'll also get 1 point that can be used to unlock skills in the Wung Fu and Perks menus. To go to the menu, press this button. When you level up, you can increase an attribute of your choice by 10. Pick which attribute you want to increase from the list. I have no clue what I want to upgrade. So I think we'll take strength plus 10. You'll earn upgrade points when leveling up. These can be used to acquire new special attacks and perks. Time to unlock your first special attack. Okay, let's take close combat. Unarmed, two-handed slash. I guess our weapon is a two-handed weapon. That would make sense, I'm sorry, given its sheer size compared to us. Dog's toe. Do we... Okay, the check marks mean we have it already. Wicked Wolf. Finish your two-handed melee chain with a strong vertical slash. This is a special attack. Hitting an enemy with it will fill up one Super Wung Fu icon. You can now perform your special attack. Okay, when we have the right weapon equipment, etc. Once you have more upgrade points, remember to spend them on perks and special attacks and the Wong Fu and perk menus. Okay, we'll take a look at them a little later. In this section, you can change equipment and weapons. The circle icons represent a part of the body that can be geared up with equipment found or bought from vendors. Your favorites can be saved in the outfits menu. You can sort your gear according to different stats. You can scrap a highlight piece of gear for crafting resources by pressing Y. We don't have any items. We've only got consumables at the moment. Okay. Level 2! I'm recording, right? I am recording. Music makes me think there's more enemies still in here. Confectulicious. 2-second, 150 heal.
Small things for your big ideas.
Okay, those must be crafting components I'm picking up. Right there. So the game must have crafting in it. I guess most games these days have crafting in it. So parts of this facility are still sealed. I guess it still follow the, well, yellow brick road for all intents and purposes. We were following the yellow lines earlier. Pick up the claw bar.
Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight.
Oh, I like that name. The once was. I like that. Old World Crowbar. Loot chance plus 5%. I saw that very briefly. I'm guessing that's not... Oh, is that a weapon? It's a tool. Okay, so it's used to... well, obviously open this door. Is it one-time use thing? Does it degrade over time? It looked like we could sell it. Eventually, I suppose. Oh, we can destroy that barrel if we want to take some damage, I guess, as well. And we didn't need the claw bar for this, right?
That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy.
I don't know why we just couldn't have sawn it to pieces with our sword.
Whoa. It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it.
There were enemies up above who were camping out in this location, so I'm imagining they're part of a gang, and we're going to be fighting more of them in here. Maybe they're gathering that goop we saw before. This is where... I'm about to say, this is where we learn to sprint or something. Oh, we have a double jump. Alright, let's give this a try. The lighting in the game is amazing. This game looks very pretty. I like the music to this area too. Let's make the assumption that's not some sort of hostile creature. And it's just some mutated flora.
The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you.
You're on your way to performing a special attack! Possible special attacks are also prompted in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Pressing the indicated input while doing the blah 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 will do the thing. I thought for a second I might be able to shoot him while he's in the air. Instinct from my time playing the old Capcom vs. Marvels took over. Oh God, we can hit him in the air. Oh, that's amazing!
Finished him off.
Use Absorb the Bioblob. These are points used to unlock mutations. You can collect Bioblobs by defeating Morks and finding containers in various places in the world. You can use your Bioblobs to unlock special powers at any time by accessing mutations part of the menu.
Might not need that now, but you will later.
Hey, can you spit out more of them? I would like more Bioblobs. Nope. Okay. Poor creatures. So these are, well, these aren't creatures, but they're probably hunted down for those points, especially if people are looking to use them to make themselves stronger. Can we spend them now? Let's see. Go to the Mutations tab to unlock psi powers, biogenetics, and to upgrade your resistances. Biogenetics are unlocked using biopoints gained from defeating biocreeps or finding containers. I don't really view us as spitting acid or stuff like that with our character. That one maybe we'd use Storm Hop. I like the idea of this. That's pretty cool. Oh, okay, we need a totally separate type of upgrade unit to take psi powers. I'm just going to spend these on resistances. I think this is probably would make the most sense for the type of character I plan on playing. Mud Punch might be useful too, but that's so far away. So let's take just some resistances. We'll grab 2 resistances whenever we get some of these crystals, assuming we get them in batches of like 3 or so, and then we'll spend others in anything extra we hold on to. We'll eventually save for that that Mud Punch. Now remember, everyone, that I've never played this, so if I'm doing all sorts of the wrong things, we'll find out together. That is a treasure chest. I'm not making that jump. I think that's... well, we can try. Unless, can we get there via a different way? Oh, there's a wall hop. Our character also will hug the wall. Darn it. I think we can do it. Let's try it like 1, maybe 2 more times. We can't make the jump directly, so we have to go around to try it. I could cut this... if I can't do it this attempt, I'll cut the recording and be back when I make it, assuming I am able to make that jump. Let's try this again. You impressed, by the way, Dave? Dave was always impressed because I would play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and I would have a knack for finding things to climb on and jump on. And I would find those... there were these cubes you would find hidden throughout the world if you were to jump in certain spots to climb certain objects to locate them. And when I've played the various MMOs... actually, hold on. I took like one of these MMO tests to see what type of character, what type of player I am. And I am the explorer type. I love running around and finding secrets everywhere. And then sharing that information with other people. And so, this is one of the reasons also why I like walking, because I want to swing the camera around looking for secrets. And we just found one. What do we have in the ancient crate? A small health pack. Alright, so not the most... I'm getting the impression that's not like the... it's not like some super secret powerful weapon or loot or a rare component or something like that, but still probably will be useful. I suppose we should keep our eye open for more, like, damaged pipes or what have you. I don't know if the game will prompt me to interact with the claw bar for other things. We're going down even deeper into this facility. Maybe there's pipes down here where they were like, transporting this fluid to this location through some massive pipeline. Maybe we'll be crawling through one of them to get out of this facility. Oh, trash. I thought, the way this looked, that looked like someone's torso towards us, and then, like, they were wearing some sort of robe. And I thought there was, it was missing its head. It says garbage bags. Old world knowledge. A laboratory. Not a very big one.
Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks travelled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind.
Oh, interesting. I assumed that there was no space travel in this world, despite the fact there were weapons in it. So maybe this is like Stalker, in so much that we are the result of previous experiments by Toxinol. This sounds like some sort of great giant, like probably some sort of massive company that was here to exploit this planet and extract resources from it. And we so happen to be, like, the product of that. Oh, I also like that the name of this place is called Bunker 101. That's pretty... I like that because the company, I think, that developer that made this is 101 is in the name of it. That's kind of cute. You found a puzzle! These are scattered around the world. Some open new paths while others feature different rewards. To switch which node is selected, use the left thing. To rotate the node, press LB or RB. This is the number of rotations you have left. The higher your intellect, the more moves you have. Each node has a certain position it must be rotated in to complete the puzzle. Running out of moves before that may have consequences. I have no clue what we're even supposed to do here. I'm going to assume it's like-sided. So let's rotate this. That was the wrong way. Oh, that was the right way, Tim. Let's try it again. Oh, we still only have 7 moves left.
Just a few moves left. Make them count.
We just barely managed to do that.
There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxinol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours.
That's pretty much exactly what I was saying. Alright, so I guess the story... Oh, I wonder if Toxinol's coming back. Or maybe the amount of toxins is finally making its way toward the special tree, which is also a mutation based around the substances that they were trying to dispose of. And it's running out of those substances.
Of spark metal going pew pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt.
Can we shoot it? No.
It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door.
So, okay. You guys can't see it, but I'm holding up my controller and I'm looking at the rotate, and I'm assuming when I hit the RB button, this will rotate this to the right, such that so the piece I currently have highlighted, if I hit the RB button, I'm expecting that that middle part, slightly to the upper left, would rotate to the right and link it to the piece up there. So I want to rotate it to the left. So I'm going to... Oh! This piece is also wrong, I think. Yes, this piece is also wrong. We need to rotate this completely around, I think.
Just a few moves left. Make them count.
We got it wrong. I messed this up.
There you go.
Man, I'm gonna want more intelligence so I can get more moves on those puzzles. Because if I make one mistake, that could be the end of us. Now let's see what was fighting in here. Perfectly countering an enemy attack will stun them. A stunned enemy has stars circling above their head, and after hitting the enemy again, you can launch it up in the air by pressing LB.
The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Kaboom! Dead already.
I really wish the camera was much, was different.
That's the good stuff. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives.
It might make sense to search them, but we're gonna stick with what the narrator says for thematic reasons and chase after this guy.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
The scar?
It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back. But he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
Muma must be our clan, I suppose. Unity?
After the old village was destroyed and you disappeared, a struggle between the families erupted, and over time, the disciples turned against each other. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree.
By default, dialogues are set to advance from one NPC line to the next automatically. If you want to manually advance the dialogue, you can change this in the settings. Okay, so I don't have to press any buttons. Oh, wow. Alright, well, I think we stop here when we've been playing for like an hour so far. Yeah, so let's stop here. And when we come back, I guess we're going to relive our childhood. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching. And take care, everyone.